The following is a Hoop Ball presentation.
Hello and welcome to the Box Score Breakdown Show, brought to you by Hoop Ball. My name is Adrian Benjamins, and I'm joined by Neil Rochlani. And this episode of the Box Score Breakdown Show is brought to you guys by the Hawaiian Isles Kona Coffee Company. Neil, we're very excited to have this sponsor for the show. We talked on the last show about how much we love coffee. I cannot wait to get my hands on some of this coffee. Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm not a big coffee drinker, as I mentioned yesterday. At least I'm not a big maker of coffee in my place. So I am though going to go. I know eventually we'll get some stuff here in our home, but I want to go just maybe thank them by going out and buying some. And like you said, they're at Cost Plus. Wait, what did you say they are? I'm sorry.
So
now I'm totally butchering this intro. They're at Cost Plus World Market, which is a store that is in Chicago. So I will go check it out. Maybe get myself one of the delicious coffee flavors.
Yeah, I on their website here in the States, the best store that I can find that's probably most convenient to everyone is that Cost Plus World Market. There's like a bunch of them near me. So I'm going to go in there, man. I want to get this chocolate macadamia flavor, man. I cannot wait. So, Neil, what's kind of funny is I love kind of like the girly coffees. Like I get like my wife and I will go to Starbucks and she'll just order like a plain coffee, and I'll get like the craziest coffee with like whipped cream and stuff like that. And so it's kind of funny because people always think that like I ordered the plain coffee because I'm a guy and my wife ordered the girly coffee. It's the same thing when we go out to get drinks. Like she orders the plainest drink and I order the drink that has like the umbrella and all the crazy stuff, and people automatically hand me like the plain drink thinking that the girl is the one that ordered the crazy drink. But that's me, man. I order the crazy drinks.
Hey, I know what to get you now for Christmas. I'm going to send you a bunch of little umbrellas. I'm just going to send them all over to you.
We go to bars and my wife's like, oh, I'll just take a margarita on the rocks. I'm like, I want the bikini martini, extra umbrella. And so,
I'm just thinking now, this Kona coffee could be all my Christmas gifts here in Chicago. I could just go out. Yeah. Everyone loves coffee, Actually, not.
Neil,
yes.
Okay, so the main reason why I'm really excited for this coffee is because coffee beans, I imagine, are kind of like grapes for wine, right? Like terroir, the growing conditions, and what better growing conditions than Hawaii, right? I mean, it has to produce the best coffee beans on the planet. Maybe other than like Colombia. I don't know. I'm just talking out of my butt right now. I don't know that much about coffee. I just drink it, and I know that it tastes good. It makes me feel good. You guys go out, support our sponsor, and go get some Hawaiian Isles Kona coffee. All right, Neil, are you ready to get down to some business?
I'm ready to get down to some business. What do we have tonight to talk about? I'm sorry, I just got home, so I have not even checked any news or notes. Very unprepared, Adrian. Unlike you, Mr. Professional, what do you see going on tonight?
Okay, what's really funny, Neil, is you had mentioned earlier that you were at yoga. I hope you don't mind that I'm mentioning that, because I think that's awesome. I've actually wanted to start doing yoga because I'm old and I need to like loosen up these limbs, man. And I need to. So you were doing that. I was watching Daredevil on Netflix with my wife, like right before I jumped on here. She was getting mad at me because I was trying to like watch some games and like look at some stuff on my phone as we were watching Daredevil. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I gotta see what's going on in the hoop world. So you and I are both a little unprepared, but that is not going to stop us, man. Let's get into some hoops. We got a busy 10-game slate. Should we jump into it?
Yeah, just one quick thing. We'll get to it eventually, but this John Wall out for personal reasons. Do you think it's anything more than just something came up, or is this like he's done with the Wizards? I mean, that's pretty big leap of faith there. I think that's probably too much that's more like conspiracy theory type, but I don't know what's going on. Do you have any idea?
I have no idea, but now my conspiracy theory brain has gone into full effect. And I just noticed that Chris Middleton was also out with a personal matter. Now I'm thinking maybe they got into a fight. Maybe one of them slept with the other one's girl. Maybe something like that, man. No, I'm just kidding. But no, man, I don't know what happened, but anytime somebody misses a game for a personal matter, you always kind of think of the worst, right? Because what could possibly keep someone from playing a game, something that's really important? Like, this is their career. This is what they get paid a lot of money for. So we automatically think the worst when somebody misses a game for a personal matter, right?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's announced like they have, an unfortunate situation in their family, someone passing or sudden illness or something like that, and they just have to be away. Yeah, we'll find out. I guess we'll find out. There's no other news I see on it besides that he just missed the game for that reason.
I mean, hopefully it's nothing serious.
Yeah, exactly.
John Wall, would you kind of agree with me if I said he doesn't really have the reputation of being like an off-court trouble type guy, would you say? So
yeah, he does. I mean, he clearly has that locker room contention with all his players, but he doesn't seem to be a guy who like runs away. He seems to come back and combat pretty well on the court and wants to be there. And yeah, not many off-court issues that I can think about. So
the other thing is, I feel like the Wizards have been playing a lot better lately. So I'm kind of hoping that him and Beal and Otto Porter, Keith Morris, I'm hoping that they start playing better throughout the season, because I know it's been a rough ride for the Wizards so far.
All right, man. Should we get into the games? I don't see anything else that's really all that. Middleton, like you said, was out for personal reasons as well. I can't imagine there's anything with a trade with those two guys. It doesn't seem like Milwaukee would want Wall. But anyway, we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Let's jump into it. I'm going to start because I think you started last night. Going to head over to the Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. We pretty much knew that this one was going to be a blowout, and it was. Warriors getting the big victory here, 129-105. Going to start with the Warriors, and I'm going to start with Stephen Curry. 42 points, 1 steal, 7 assists, 9 rebounds, 11 of 20 from the field. Neil, 9 of 14 from three-point land, 11 of 12 from the field. He went supernova tonight. Neil, I did not have him in my DFS lineup, and I got to ask you, maybe this is a question for later. I did my first DFS lineup of the season, and how do people get in the really top-tier expensive guys? Like the guys that cost like $10,000, $9,000. Some of the guys were like 11 grand. I think like Anthony Davis was one of them. Man, I don't understand how you can spend on these guys, because then you just have no money left over in any other spot. But anyways, I'm going off track here. Stephen Curry just went crazy. Happy that he's back. Kevin Durant, 25 points, 2 blocks, a steal, 9 assists, 10 rebounds, flirting with a big triple-double here. 9 of 16 from the field, 4 of 7 from downtown, 3 of 4 from the line. Klay Thompson was okay here. Didn't shoot too well. Was only 5 of 15 for 16 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, 2 threes, 4 of 5 from the line. Kevin Looney didn't do too much in a start, which is 8 points in 25 minutes. Iguodala only 4 points in 22 minutes. Off the bench, they got some nice production from Jerebko, who had 11 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 3 in 22 minutes. Cook had 10 points in 16 minutes. Not too much else to talk about. I guess I should note, it sounds like Draymond Green is getting pretty close. DeMarcus Cousins as well. We'll see Green back before Cousins, but we might see Cousins maybe towards the end of the month here, which is pretty exciting. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Warriors?
Yeah, this team is pretty much what we thought they were. I guess the one thing I had thoughts on is Looney, trying to watch him and see if he's streamable up until when Draymond comes back and Cousins as well comes in. And he just hasn't done it. I thought he did okay when he got backup minutes, and now he got 25 minutes tonight, just 8, 6, and 3, just took 6 shots. We know centers don't really get much value there. That'll obviously change with Cousins, but so it's not really worth streaming him until Draymond comes back, unfortunately. He's 133 in 9 cat, over the last week, so not enough value there. And this is Curry. He's ridiculous. Probably greatest shooter of all time. Is that ridiculous to say? I mean, I've never seen a better shooter in my life. He could probably shoot 40% from half court if he wanted to. This is ridiculous. Anyway, 9 3-pointers tonight. Such a fun guy to watch play. Anyway, not much else to say fantasy wise. We'll see. Klay Thompson took a little bit of a backseat tonight, with Curry scoring all those points. And this is, unfortunately, Klay's at 59 over the last week. And let's see how he's doing for the full season. Klay in 8 cat leagues is 49. So I think he's probably going to hold around this value going forward. Not much else to say here. You have any more thoughts on Golden State?
Nope.
All right, let's go to the Cleveland side. Some interesting lineups tonight. George Hill is back in there, played 25 minutes. Did not score, though. 0-5 from the field. He's not really shooting the ball that much. Very low usage. 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. If you took like a speculative ad on him coming back, I think it might be safe to drop him. Colin Sexton, you and I are both really high on him. I know he has stats at issues, but he's a rookie. He's going to get better. Second half of the season, I think he's going to be pretty strong. 21 points tonight, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 7-14 shooting, 3 of 3 from three-point land. No steals, no blocks. Tristan Thompson, he's been a surprise this year. 14 points, 19 rebounds, 3 assists, 6 of 8. Is hurting you in the free throw category tonight. 2 of 6, and no steals, no blocks. Rodney Hood gets the start at small forward. 31 minutes, 15 points, no rebounds, 1 assist, 2 3-pointers, and a steal. Chetty Osman, 33 minutes, 16 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 3-pointers, 2 steals, so a solid night from him. Off the bench, Jordan Clarkson taking the most shots, I believe. 17 shots for the entire team. Got 17 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 3-pointers, and a steal. Larry Nance, a very solid night for him. 11 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 4 from the field, including 3 of 3 from the line. A steal and a block. Alec Burks, someone I'm kind of watching here. Can't make a move on yet. 23 minutes, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Had an off night shooting, just 2 for 10. Did go 4 or 5 from the line and a 3-pointer and a steal. I think if this guy can get around 30 minutes, he might be worth owning at the very low end of a 12-team league, but not there yet. Am I missing anyone? I think that's it. I think Sexton, I know his ranking is not great. I know he has stat set issues, but he is clearly driving this team. I think he's overall for the season, he's 179 ACAT. So obviously that's not very good. But over the last couple of weeks, he's 152. He's slowly climbing up. He's really just he's hurting you in some of, let's see here, hurting you in some of these other stats. But I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to get more assists. Right now, just 2.9 on the season. I think that'll improve. Steals, I think, will come up. 3-pointers tonight, he had 3 of them, so that should come up. I think he's going to be around a top 100 player when he's in the second half of the season. So that's my thoughts on Cleveland. Any thoughts from you?
I'm really excited about Tristan Thompson. I picked him up at the beginning of the season off the wire in a couple deeper leagues. And man, 14 double-doubles on the season. He's hitting career highs in points and rebounds this year. And, even though, as you mentioned, he does hurt you from the free throw line, he's shooting the best I think he ever has, which is at 64% on the season, which isn't super great, but it's also not horrendous. So I've been pretty happy with the Tristan Thompson. Love your take on Colin Sexton and on Alec Burks. And I'm going to move on to the next game, Neil. Next game I got up is the Denver Nuggets and the Orlando Magic. And excuse me while I pull this up right now. The Nuggets get the victory here, 124-118. And I'm going to start on the Nuggets side. I'm going to start with Jamal Murray. 31 points with 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 10 of 25 from the field, 2 threes, 9 of 11 from the line. This is a guy that I did have in my DFS lineup, thank goodness. Hernan Gomez here with a pretty good game, 14 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 6 of 8 from the field, 2 of 4 from downtown. Neil, Hernan Gomez, I feel like he's been pretty productive the last few games. This team is missing Will Barton. It's missing Gary Harris. I think Hernan Gomez needs to be owned, and he needs to be played while these other guys are out. Jokic having another solid game here, flirting with the triple-double, 12 points, 13 assists with 8 rebounds, 1 steal, 5 of 13 from the field, 1 3, 1 of 2 from the line. It's a pretty good game from him. Paul Millsap with an 18-point, 2 assists, and 8 rebound game. He also added 2 threes, 6 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from the line. It was also Torrey Craig getting the start here. 25 minutes, he only put up 5 points, so not too much from him. They got some nice production off of the bench. Morris added 13 points. Lyles with 12 points in just 19 minutes. Plumlee had 11 points, and Beasley had 8 points. Not too much else to talk about. It sounds like Isaiah Thomas is getting close. I don't think we're going to see Gary Harris or Will Barton for a little while. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Nuggets?
Yeah, Hernan Gomez is someone I've been, I had in a league. I dropped him, not because I think he's not getting good enough value. It's just I needed other stat sets, so I had to let him go. He's I think around 90 in the last 2 weeks in ACAT, so he's definitely worth owning. 153 for the season. I think even when Barton gets back, he's going to find a way to get around 28 minutes and is going to be a very low-end starter, but starter nonetheless. I think his percentages are going to be fine, which really kind of boosts up his value. Not much else here. We kind of know who these other guys are. Millsap's at 63. Do you think tonight he had another good game? What do you think about Millsap? Would you sell high on him? He's one I know people have talked about maybe overperforming the last few weeks. Do you have any thoughts on him?
Yes, I think if you could try to sell high on him, I would do it. Now, this is only because when they get Gary Harris back, when they get Will Barton, even a guy like Isaiah Thomas, although I have low expectations for Isaiah Thomas, I do think Paul Millsap will take a hit. Right now, he's really filling a void that they need, scoring in that front court wing spot. So right now he's been pretty good, but I'm just really curious as the season goes on, when they get fully healthy, if he's going to take a dip. If you could sell high on him right now, if you could get a really solid player in return, a more for sure guy, I would do that in a heartbeat. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so too. I think 63 though is not too bad. I mean, he could fill in there too. I mean, his free throw has been down a little bit this year, 71%. That could come up a little bit and help him. 3-pointers a little down, just 0.9. So I think he could hold that value. But like you said, he's probably going to drop when those guys come back a little bit. All right, I'll go over to the Orlando side. Tonight, Vucevic, who I played, I couldn't get in the DFS. It's so great to see our competition was sold out by the time I went on there. So I do. I'm just doing free leagues over on FanDuel. So I started Vucevic, 24 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists, 11 of 19 shooting, 2 3-pointers, no defensive stats. Aaron Gordon, he's back, 19 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 3-pointers, a steal and a block. Jonathan Simmons played 25 minutes in a starter's role, but just is not doing anything. 2 points, 2 assists, and nothing else tonight. DJ Augustine, this is one of those nights that I'm glad I don't own him. 8 points, 5 assists, no rebounds. Just took 4 shots, 2 3-pointers, though, no steals, no blocks. Evan Fournier fouled out, did get 26 points, though, with 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 8 of 15 from the field, 4 of 4 from the line. He helps you there and did have a block. Let's see. Jonathan Isaac, I guess that's the one we're all curious about. 11 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 of 2 from the line, 4 of 11 from the field, so struggled a little bit there, and just 1 of 7 from 3-point land. Did get a steal and a block, so 1-1-1 tonight. This guy can get 2-2-2 on some nights, which is why we all love him. Mo Bamba played 16 minutes, had a decent line, 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, steal and a block himself. Terrence Ross, he's been streamable for sort of three-pointers. Tonight he had 3 of them on 17 points, 6 of 12 shooting. Can't do much else, though. Rebound, 3 assists, and a steal, which is why I don't own him. I can't just do guys with empty calories. I need more balance in my Roto League. And that's kind of it on this side. Not much. I don't know what to say. I mean, Aaron Gordon's back. I've always liked his game. I know his percentages kind of hurt you, but he seems to be performing pretty well this year. 52nd in 8 cat I'm seeing on a per-game basis, kind of where I think he was valued this year. Terrence Ross has gotten to the top 100. Points, 3-pointers, free throw percentage, he helps you there. Not much else on this team. Jonathan Isaac, I know you have Adrian. Will you take tonight's line, or you expect a lot more?
No, I will take tonight's line. And you know what, Neil, last night, was it last night that he played? They just played back-to-back.
Yep.
Last night, I kind of harped on him a little bit because he had a decent line last night, but only took 6 shots. So I thought to myself, man, if he only makes a couple of those shots, this is a bad line. And tonight, I kind of have the opposite point of view, meaning tonight, it was just an okay night. But I'm looking at the positive where he took 11 shots tonight, which I love. Played 25 minutes. Neil, he took 7 threes tonight. So if a couple more of those drop, if the shot was on tonight, this would be a much better line. So I'm really optimistic. This is 2 games in a row here. So I'm starting to like what I'm seeing. Still maybe working his way back from that ankle injury. He hasn't cracked at the starting lineup yet. But, Neil, I'm starting to lean towards maybe getting him in my lineup now. He's been sitting on my bench in that Roto League. I think it might be time to put him in my lineup. The minutes are there. I love that he took 11 shots. I think it could be time. All right, man. Any thoughts there? Are you liking what you see from Isaac?
I don't know him anywhere, and he seems to be picked up in almost all my leagues. So I don't think the opportunity is there, and I'm not going to trade for him because it's just I don't trust him. I know he has the potential, but it seems I would put the odds of less than 50% that he hits what I would like to see or what people are probably going to trade him for. So I'm not reaching for him. But I agree with you that I think that this is a good sign.
All right, man. I'm going to jump into the next game, which is next one I got up is the Washington Wizards and the Atlanta Hawks. And the Wizards getting the victory here, 131-117. Neil, I was targeting this game pretty heavy from a DFS standpoint because the Hawks are awful defensively. And the Wizards were missing John Wall in this one. So I thought that we could kind of get some sneaky value. I played Thomas Satoransky, and it paid off for me today. 14 points, a block, 2 steals, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. He had 2 threes. He shot 5 of 7, 2 of 2 from the line. It's a good fill-in game from him. Otto Porter with a nice game. 20 points, 1 steal, 5 assists, 11 rebounds, 9 of 19 from the field, 2 threes. He did have 6 turnovers. Bradley Beal, another guy that I was thinking about playing. I switched him out of my lineup last minute, and I kicking myself for it. 36 points, 9 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 threes. He shot 10 of 13 from the field, 12 of 22 from the line. Neil, another guy I'm been watching, and he kind of came alive tonight. Thomas Bryant, 16 points, a steal, a block, an assist, 9 rebounds, 5 of 5 from the line, 1 3, 5 of 8 from the field. Dwight Howard is not coming back anytime soon. Was really hoping that this guy could have some value. Maybe this is the start of something. Keep an eye on him. I don't think we need to make a move on him, but just keep an eye on him. Kelly Oubre Jr., 19 points off the bench, 3 steals, 5 rebounds, 2 threes in 25 minutes. Keith Morris had 12 points, 2 blocks, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 5 of 11, 2 threes. Not too much else happening here. So we were missing Dwight Howard. John Wall was out of this one with personal issue. Jeff Green was out in this one as well. So I think because of that, we saw some inflated lines from Kelly Oubre Jr. I think we saw some really good games here. Neil, what do you think of the Washington Wizards?
All right, on the Washington side, yeah, this is an interesting line. I mean, Satoransky, I'm glad you took him. Glad you took him in DFS. I did as well. Probably a very popular play. I just, are you picking him up? Are you going to try to speculate the conspiracy theory with John Wall maybe no longer there? I mean, this guy is startable if he gets the role, right? If he's starting the point guard, is it worth the move? What do you think, Adrian? I think I'm going to I know a lot of people are going to do that, and I'm going to hold off.
If John Wall is not going to return to the Wizards, and that is a ginormous if, then yes, Thomas Satoransky would be a must-grab guy. But Neil, I'm not. Until we hear more news on whatever's going on with John Wall, I'm not buying it, man.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's way too premature to do it. If you're desperate, if you're in a league where you're way behind and you're like, I just need players and there's no one out there in a waiver wire, maybe you do it. You drop someone for dead weight and see if it works. Fortunately, I'm hanging in there in a few of my leagues, so I'm okay. Let's talk about Thomas Bryant, though. He's right on the cusp. Last 2 weeks, 129 in 9-cat leagues, probably a little better in 8-cat. A little worse, 148 in 8-cat. I'm not buying him just yet. I think Markieff Morris is still going to get a bigger role than him. Although tonight it wasn't the case. And then Kelly Oubre, like I've talked about, the last 2 weeks he's 101 in ACAT. He's slowly creeping in to that value. He's too frustrating for me to own. If John Wall got moved again, I would pick this guy up because they need scoring and Oubre can fill that up. So if he's still out there. All right, over to the Atlanta side. And also these stats are kind of hard to trust because it's Atlanta, probably the worst defense in the league, right? So hard to know how long this can hold up. Anyway, on the Atlanta side, we've got, we'll start with Trae Young, 14 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists on 5 of 9 from the free throw line, 4 of 13 from the field, single three-pointer, 2 steals, just hanging around in ACAT leagues at 123 per game basis. A couple of guys we were watching, Dwayne Dedmon, 22 minutes tonight, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. Did not shoot well for a big man, 3 of 9 from the field. That really hurts. Did make a three-pointer, 2 steals, no blocks. John Collins had a nice line, 26 points, 14 rebounds, 12 of 17 from the field. Just amazing. Did miss his 1 free throw, though. 2 3-pointers, no defensive stats. Kevin Werther, 27 minutes, 8 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists on 2 of 6 shooting, 2 3-pointers, and a block. Let's see. Kent Bazemore got the starting role. 22 points with the absence of Taurean Prince, who's out for 3 weeks. 22 points for Bazemore, 2 rebounds, 6 assists on 8 of 18 shooting, 2 3-pointers, 4 steals, and a block. This guy, I think, is a must-own. I mean, if he got dropped somehow, pick him up. Bembry tonight, just 8 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. I thought that I was watching him too since Prince was out, 4 of 11 from the field. He did get 4 steals, so this is why I like him. He can get defensive stats. I just don't think it's enough usage to make up for the other lack of categories. Vince Carter played 22 minutes. Not much else to talk about. Jeremy Lin, only 4 minutes. I don't know what's going on here. It looks like he's questionable, so I guess he did get hurt. Lower back strain. Poor guy, tends to get hurt every year. I think I have a bid in for him to pick up tomorrow. I might drop that bid because it doesn't look good for him right now. Anyway, Atlanta, I guess what I take away from tonight is Kent Bazemore is, I think, going to be solid until he gets moved, which I think is a big if as well, but I think that's a realistic if. Not much else to take away from this. Dwayne Dedmon, I'm still holding off on. Just doesn't do enough. And Bembry as well, holding off on. And Lynn, I'm going to wait and see news on this injury before I pick him up. All right, any thoughts on Atlanta? A lot going on here.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned the injury to Jeremy Lin. It sounds like a lower back strain left the game in the second quarter. So this is why we saw low minutes from him. And then you pretty much covered everything. I just want to note John Collins is starting to heat up. 26 points with 14 rebounds. He's looking pretty good, and I love it. All right, gonna move over to the next game, Neil, the OKC Thunder and the Brooklyn Nets. And this one was much closer than I thought it was going to be. The Thunder have been playing some really good ball lately. 114 to 112. The Thunder are squeaking out the victory. I'm going to start on the Nets side. And Alan Crabb had a really good game tonight. 22 points, a steal, 2 assists, 4 rebounds, 7 threes tonight from Crabb. Wow. 7 of 15 from the field. Beautiful game from him. Neil, I had Joe Harris in my original DFS lineup tonight, and he had 19 points, a steal, 2 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 threes, shot 6 of 12, and I chickened out and I took him out. I took him out of my lineup at the last minute, so shame on me, man. D'Angelo Russell, 17 points, 2 steals, 4 assists, 3 threes, 6 of 13 from the field, 2 of 2 from the line. Nice game from him, but he did have 6 turnovers, which kind of hurts. Jared Allen, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block. It's a pretty good game from him. The blocks have been pretty down with Jared Allen lately, which has been bumming me out, but you're going to stick with him. I think he'll be pretty good. Excuse me. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, man, this is a buzzkill. Neil, only 2 points in 22 minutes. 6 assists, 9 rebounds is nice, but man, I had higher hopes for this guy. I really thought he would be a solid value when Karis LeVert went out, and it's not looking that way. Spencer Dinwiddie still producing off the bench, got 30 minutes off the bench. Who cares if he comes off the bench, man? He's getting starter minutes. 17 points, 2 blocks, a steal, 2 assists. He had a 3, shot 6 of 11, 4 of 8 from the line. It's a pretty good game from him. Damari Carroll added 12 points in 19 minutes. We're not trusting him. We're not really trusting anyone else on this bench. Neil, what do you think of the Brooklyn Nets?
You know, Adrian, I'm trusting your gut, though. Joe Harris, last 2 weeks, he is 72nd in ACAT on a per-game basis. This guy's playing over 30 minutes. For a shooting guard, he's shooting 44% this year. It's not even as good as we expect. We expect him to be around 47%, 90% from the free throw line on 2.8 attempts per game last 2 weeks. Maybe I'll put a bid in for him instead of Jeremy Lin if he's still out there. I would recommend him going forward. Alan Crabb did have a nice game, but it's just, he was barely worth owning last year. I thought he would get a lot of minutes with the absence of Dinwiddie, but it's just not. It's just he's still not enough to be worth owning in standard leagues. Other than that, like you said, Dinwiddie's the man, along with Russell. So those two guys, the backcourt guys, are filling it up. And unfortunately, Hollis-Jefferson, another start, another disappointing night. So outside the top, he's 243, just a disappointment. Anyway, let's move on. I know you've got family to attend to, so I'm going to try to get to the next game pretty quickly. No. I've got to do Oklahoma City.
Oh,
you threw me
I'm
off.
sorry.
You did the home team. You totally threw me off. Okay.
So I kept taking the big teams with the big popcorn lines, and I felt bad. I was like, you know what? I'm going to save this one for Neil.
Yeah, I'm a simple man. I like to go in order.
Okay, I'm gonna stick to the order. Then.
It's fine. Go Oklahoma City. Yes. So let's look at this. The monster lines of the night. Russell Westbrook, 21 points, 15 rebounds, 17 assists. He triple doubles again. 9-23 shooting. So a little struggles there. 2 3-pointers, a steal, 2 turnovers. So solid game from him, of course. The big line, though, is from Paul George. 47 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists on 15 of 27, 6 3-pointers, 11 of 14 from the free throw line, and a block. Just 2 turnovers himself. Jeremy Grant, someone I know people have been recommending picking up. He's 111 over the last 2 weeks in ACAT. These are nights where I would be too frustrated on them. I'm too emotional, Adrian. I go with the ups and downs, and the roller coaster kills me. Tonight, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal. He did have 3 blocks. So, yeah, he salvaged it there. But other than that, kind of just a weak line. Terrence Ferguson, same thing. Played 26 minutes. I'm not even going to read his line. Steven Adams, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 7-11 from the field. Gosh, he struggled from the free throw line, and that has sort of been He's 52% on the year. Tonight, 1 of 6 on the line. Another center who's struggling this year. 2 steals and a block. Off the bench, Schroeder, who's been still worthy tonight, played 30 minutes, 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 5 of 12 from the field, 2 3-pointers. So not bad, but not very good either. I think you could either roll with him or drop him, depending on what stats that you need. Nolan's Noel, 14 minutes tonight. This guy's gotten some buzz as well. Can do a lot in a little minutes. Tonight, 5 points, 9 rebounds, a steal and a block. So he's 108 over the last 2 weeks. I'm still not buying it. I kind of put him in the same category as Jeremy Grant. Not ready to pick him up just yet. Any thoughts on the Thunder besides, I know there are some guys here who you were going to start in your DFS and you let go. Man.
That'll be the story of the night for me. I should have had Paul George in my lineup. I had him locked in. I took him out, and he maybe had the line of the night. Super quick, because I know we're kind of rushing through this. I got a chance to take a serious look at the Thunder play the other night. Man, Neil, this team looks good. Currently 1 game out of first place in the Western Conference. And man, the game I was watching, they ran a lot of Schroeder with Westbrook and Paul George, Jeremy Grant, and this team was running and gunning, and they were fun to watch. They get out quickly on the break, and man, this team looks really good, Neil. I think if they can stay healthy and if they can just keep building here, I think they can make some noise in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's Golden State and then like 13 really good teams afterward, or like a dozen really good teams right behind it. Any of them could challenge them, but we'll see if that happens.
Oh man, if we could somehow get a Thunder Warriors matchup in the playoffs, that would be bananas. Man. That would be crazy. And then my very last thought on this team, Westbrook just passed Jason Kidd with his triple-double to go number 3 on the all-time triple-double list. So congrats to Westbrook. And I think, man, when it's all said and done, I think he might be up at the top of the list at the end of his career. All right, Neil, I'm going to jump in on the next game, the Los Angeles Clippers and the Memphis Grizzlies. I was pretty excited when I saw this game on the slate because these are 2 pretty good teams in the Western Conference, and I knew it was going to be a tough matchup for the Clippers. The Grizzlies are a pretty good defensive team, and I purposely avoided – I was really tempted to play some of these Clippers in DFS, but I avoided it, and I'm happy about it. But Danilo Gallinari did have a good game, 17 points, a steal, 2 assists, 5 rebounds. He made 3 threes, 5 of 15 from the field's not that great, 4 of 8 from the line, but still a decent game from him. Neil, Avery Bradley, who I was excited about the other day, a letdown here. 5 points, 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal. He only shot 2 of 8 in 33 minutes. Tobias, a tough game from him, only 7 points, 5 personal fouls, so it looks like he got into some foul troubles. 1 assist, 1 steal, 12 rebounds. He had a 3. Neil, the last time the Clippers played the Grizzlies, Tobias was matched up against Gasol quite a bit, and it was pretty difficult for him. I don't know if that was the same case in this game, but maybe that contributed to the 5 fouls that he had here. So I always try to avoid Tobias Harris when he's going up in a tough matchup like that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 12 points, 3 steals, 1 block, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. He had a 3, 4 of 9 from the field, 3 of 4 from the line. This is a pretty good all-around game from Shai Gills. Marcin Gortat got the start, but only saw 15 minutes for 2 points because Montrezl Harrell is the real guy that you want to own in this front court. He saw the real big minutes, played 26 of them for 8 points, 1 steal, 3 rebounds, 4 of 8 from the field. Lou Williams had 12 points. He actually had 6 turnovers as well, which isn't great. 7 assists. He shot 2 of 8 in 25 minutes. Pat Bev, only 4 points in 17 minutes. Boban got some run in this one, had 19 points in 13 minutes. He also had 8 rebounds and 1 steal. Neil, what do you think of the Clippers?
Man, Gallinari, I avoided him all season, drafting him in all my leagues because I didn't want him have him on my roster thinking he's going to get hurt at some point. He is just cruising, though. 42nd and 8 cat on a per-game basis. I might want to revisit that, my thinking around that. And like you say, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, top 100 in the last 2 weeks. He's going to keep climbing. I expect him to hit around 80. We'll see if he breaks through that. That's all I got. These guys, like you said, Gortat gets a start, but doesn't really play many minutes. It's Harrell struggled tonight, but he's also a solid fantasy asset as well. I'll move over to the Memphis side. I think they were led by Conley tonight. 22 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 9 of 16 shooting. Did only go 2 for 4 from the line. 2 3-pointers, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Gasol, kind of a quiet night. 4 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists on 1 of 13 shooting. Just the block, so really hurt you there on his field goal percentage tonight. Slow-mo, Kyle Anderson had a good line for him. 7 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Went 3 of 5 from the field. This guy just doesn't shoot. A steal and a block, and 2 turnovers. Jaren Jackson Jr. It looks like he got in foul trouble. He fouled out in 21 minutes of play. 13 points, 6 rebounds, 5 of 10 from the field though. 2 of 2 from the line. A 3-pointer, a steal and a block. I'm not going to trade him for anyone, Adrian. I think I'm more in love with Jaren Jackson Jr. than you are now. I have him in one league. Every time I get an offer for him. I mean, unless it's Anthony Davis, who I own in that same league, I'm not going to trade for him. All right, let's see who else we got here. Off the bench, JaMychal Green, 29 minutes, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist. A solid night from him. Unfortunately, he had 2 steals as well, and 5 of 6 from the line. Unfortunately, he's just lost this role. Tonight he got a lot of minutes because of the foul trouble for Jaren Jackson. I mean, he's still hanging in there technically, but he's just going to keep dropping down as long as Jaren Jackson can stay on the court. Not much else here from the bench. Anything you want to add to the Grizzlies?
I am going to add some more love on JJJ. Neil, currently ranked 41 in 9-cat leagues, and he is not even hitting his ceiling yet, man. He still can improve and get much better. Pretty scary to think that right now he's just kind of cruising and he's putting up 4th-round value right now. Very, 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 very fun stuff from JJJ. All right, you pretty much covered everything, man. I'm going to move over to the next game. Let's keep rolling. The Dallas Mavericks, I was going to say got the victory, but they did not. They lost big to the Pelicans. Pelicans getting the win, 132-106. But I'm going to start with the Dallas Mavericks because they're the home team, Neil.
No, road team.
They're the road team? No, yeah. Who's the road team?
Dallas. That's where we go first. Road, baby.
Okay, I'm starting with the Mavericks. I'm starting with my boy, Luka Doncic. Let me down tonight. I don't care. I still love this guy. His leash is very long for me. 8 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Did not have a defensive stat. He only had 1 3. Neil, this is a back-to-back, man. He's 19 years old. So give the guy a break, man, right? Coming off a back-to-back, he deserves a letdown here and there. Dorian Finney-Smith with 12 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds, 2 threes in just 29 and played 29 minutes, shot 5 of 10. It's a pretty good game from him. Wesley Matthews, 15 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 threes, shot 5 of 9, 3 of 5 from the line. It's a decent game from him. The bigger letdown tonight might have been DeAndre Jordan. Only 2 points, didn't have a block. Only had 8 rebounds, was shot 1 of 2. This is a really poor game from him. Let's hope he bounces back in the next one. Harrison Barnes, Neil, I looked it up. His nickname, he did indeed have a nickname, and it was the Black Falcon. So I did not make that up. That is a legitimate thing. 16 points, 1 steal, 1 assist, 2 rebounds, 3 threes tonight, 5 of 13. This is what he does. You'll take it. Brunson off the bench with 11 points. Powell with a double-double off the bench, 12 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks in 24 minutes. That's pretty good. Barea, I actually played Barea in my DFS lineup. 14 points tonight, 2 steals, 4 assists. It's a pretty good game from him. When I heard that Dennis Smith Jr. was going to miss this game, I quickly I quickly threw JJ Barea in my lineup, and it paid off for me tonight. He also had 2 threes. Pretty good game from him. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Dallas Mavericks?
I love Luka as well, but other than that, this team is kind of boring fantasy-wise. You got DeAndre Jordan, who is having a great year in Dallas in terms of especially a free throw percentage. I mean, it's so hard to get a center with good free throw percentage, and he's really stepped up this year, 75% from the line. But these other guys, Matthews, Dennis Smith Jr., I'm going to throw in there, Harrison Barnes, Dorian Finney-Smith, they're all on the cusp of owning. They all have slightly different strengths and weaknesses, so maybe you own them based on what you need. But I'm staying away. JJ Barea, I think, sometimes he gets good lines. It's hard to know when. Even when the whole team's healthy, he can put up a great line. So if you need assists, that's the one thing he can do. Other than that, though, not much else to add. I'm going to go over to the Pelican side, unless there's anything else you want to say on the Mavericks.
Nope.
All right. So tonight, Pelicans, Mirotic was out, so Randall gets a start, had a great line, 27 points, 18 rebounds, 1 assist, 11 of 16 from the field. Did struggle from the line, though, 3 of 7, 2 3-pointers. Anthony Davis, 27 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists, 10 of 20 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line, 2 3-pointers, 2 steals, 5 golden blocks. Solomon Hill, 23 minutes, 3 points, 0 rebounds, 2 assists. I'm not sure why I'm talking about him. No one's owning Solomon Hill. Drew Holiday, 34 minutes, 17 points, 1 rebound, 8 assists, 6 of 11 from the field. This guy has delivered his second round value, 4 or 5 from the line, a 3-pointer, 4 steals and a block. Really happy to see him back up last year's performance with a strong follow-up. The one guy that's you may have picked up, Tim Frazier, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 7 assists. So he did deliver there where you probably wanted him most to contribute. 1 of 3 from the field, from the 3-point land, and a steal. Etuan Moore had a great night off the bench, 17 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 3-pointers. He's right on the cusp of being owned too. Yeah. I've stayed away from him just because, I can't trust him. But he does have enough value to be owned. What do you, not much else to take away from this. When Randall gets a start, he doesn't back down. He's not going to defer to Davis and Holiday. He's going to take his shots. And, tonight he just drilled it. He scored, like I said, 27 points on 16 shots. So very efficient for him. He's up to 75 on on a per game basis on ACAT. We'll see how long Mirotic is out. He was out last game with an illness. I thought he'd be back tonight. So I don't think it's anything serious, but just keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I think any time that Mirotic is going to miss a game for whatever reason, it sounds like it was just an illness, as you just said. But anytime he misses a game, I think it's pretty automatic that we got to get Julius Randle in our lineup. So had an outstanding game tonight, and you pretty much covered it all. Let's keep rolling. Let's jump into the next one. The Detroit Pistons lose to the Milwaukee Bucks, 92-115. Gonna start on the Pistons side, and I'm gonna start with Blake Griffin, who's been having a pretty fantastic season. 31 points, 4 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 block, 4 threes tonight. It still amazes me, Neil, that this guy's become a 3-point shooter and also a passer. It's just unreal. 11 of 22 from the field. Good game from him. Andre Drummond with 10 points and 8 rebounds and assists, a steal. Somewhat of a letdown here. Did have 5 fouls, but played 30 minutes, so still got a full run. But, not a great game from him. Reggie Jackson with a solid line, 15 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 steal, 1 3, 6 of 15 from the field. Langston Galloway got the start in this one, but only put up 5 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. We don't need to worry about him. Robinson III, we don't need to worry about him. Only 2 points in 9 minutes. Stanley Johnson, a guy I've seen picked up in a few leagues. Neil, 3 of 16 he shot tonight for only 7 points, 2 steals, and 9 rebounds. So that was pretty ugly. Not too much else to talk about off the bench. Neil, what are your thoughts on the Pistons?
Yeah, Stanley Johnson. He's someone who I've been watching for a few years now, and I don't like guys that are category killers. And tonight he killed your field goal percent. So stayed away from him. I mean, he might eventually climb up to be worth it. So, but I'm staying away. Bullock's out. Smith was out tonight. Let's see. Oh no, I'm sorry. Smith played 15 minutes, but looks like he's questionable. Oh gosh, not much else to say. I don't know if you saw Giannis dunk on Blake Griffin though. Did you see that?
No, how was that?
Oh, it was a nice poster.
Was it spectacular?
Well, they were underneath the basket, so it wasn't like he was coming down the lane or anything. He just out jumped him on underneath the basket and just dunked on him. So. Oh,
you know what? You just reminded me of something. I've got a picture. There's a really famous dunk when Blake was on the Clippers. He dunked on Pau Gasol. It was like a super famous dunk. I was in the crowd that game. I'm actually have a picture of him dunking on him, and I'm in the background in the crowd. My jaw. I'm going to send you a picture
fantastic.
of this. Yeah, I'm so excited. You just reminded me of it when you said that Giannis dunked on Blake. So, man, it's kind of nice of all the dunking that Blake has done on people. It's nice to see him get some in return. And Giannis, man, hey, this guy Giannis, I believe he's leading the league in dunks and scores the most points in the paint. What a monster he is, man. Yeah,
let's go over to that side. I'll start with him. Tonight, that dunk was probably his highlight. He did have 15 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists on 6 of 12 shooting, so did not take a lot of shots. 3 of 4 from the free throw line, a steal and a block. Did have 5 turnovers. He's now up to 5th, though, on a per-game basis in ACAT, kind of where he was drafted. Turnovers, though, have killed him, and he's much lower in 9-cat. Let's see. Eric Bledsoe, 27 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists on 10 of 17 shooting, 5 of 5 from the line, 2 3-pointers, 4 steals. I knew this guy was going to be solid this year. Much better coach. Great fit for him. He's playing spectacularly. Malcolm Brogdon, another one who's been playing well. Just 21 minutes tonight, though. 14 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. This game was kind of a blowout. 5 of 10 from the field for him. 2 of 2 from the line. 2 3-pointers. No defensive stats. Brook Lopez, 6 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. Not much of a line. Did have 2 3-pointers and 3 blocks. And a steal, so gets it done on those 3 categories, or those 2 categories. Let's see. Thaumaker actually got 21 minutes, 11, 2, and 1 off the bench. Oh, I should mention Tony Snell started 25 minutes, 11.7 rebounds, 1 assist, and he did go 7 of 7 from the line. He's, though, very low in the rotation. Got to start tonight because, let's see, who was hurt? Middleton was out tonight. Yeah, we talked about that. Oh, he was inactive tonight, we should say. Dellavedova got 20 minutes. A lot of these guys got high minutes because of the blowout. So not much here to talk about. Any thoughts from you on this game in Milwaukee?
Nope, no thoughts from me. I hope that Middleton, whatever issue he's dealing with, I hope it's nothing serious because I love when he's in the lineup, man. They play some really great basketball. All right, Neil, let's keep rolling. Going to jump into the next one. The Philly 76ers versus the Toronto Raptors. Neil, earlier when I said that I was really excited about the Clippers and the Grizzlies because they're 2 top teams in the West, I was also excited about this game because these are 2 of the top teams in the East. And this game did not disappoint, but it was the Raptors getting the victory 113-102. I'm going to jump in on the Philly side, and I'm going to start with Jimmy Butler, who had a monster 38-point, 10 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, 4 threes. He took 27 shots and made 15 of them. Was a perfect 4 of 4 from the line. Great game from him. Joel Embiid, this is somewhat of a letdown. Did double-double, though, with 10 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. But he only shot 5 of 17. So did have 2 blocks, but somewhat of a letdown from Joel Embiid. He'll be just fine. JJ Redick, a huge game, 25 points, 5 threes, shot 9 of 16. He also added 4 assists and a block. Ben Simmons here, flirting with the triple-double. He had 8 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds, 4 of 6 from the field. Didn't make a 3 because that's not his thing, but still a pretty good game from him. Wilson Chandler has just been doing low-end stuff in his starts. Only had 3 points, 2 assists, 6 rebounds in his 26 minutes. Off the bench, not much going on here. Muscala with 6 points, McConnell with 6 points, Shamet with 6 points. Neil, what do you think of the Sixers?
Yeah, we know the big three. They seem to have a good line. I mean, Simmons didn't only took 6 shots tonight, but the rest did just fine. It's hard to figure out, besides Redick, who's kind of set into his role here. He's 89th on the year in 8-cat, and I think he's going to hover around there the rest of the season. Muscala is someone I'm watching, and that's really it. Chandler, I don't think, is going to have enough usage with the starting lineup to really produce. He's mostly a 3-and-D guy anyway. I thought Mike Muscala might be able to get you points, rebounds, threes, free throw percentage, and maybe a block and a steal, but just not enough. He's not producing. I thought he might get closer to 30 minutes per game, but he's hovering a little less than that. So I'm just watching him for now. But other than that, not much else to add. I'm going to go. I know you're running late on time, so I'm going to hop over to the Raptors side, the winner side. Start off with Kawhi Leonard, 36 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 13 of 24 from the field, 5 of 6 from the line, 5 of 6 from three-point land, 5 steals and a block. This guy is pretty good, Adrian. Let's see. Kyle Lowry's quiet night from him. 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists on 2 of 8 shooting, a three-pointer. He did have 3 steals and a block. Pascal Siakam, like you said, we gave Luka a break. We have to give Pascal a break. He's going to have these games once in a while. And it wasn't terrible. 6 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Just a steal. Let's see. Danny Green, 5 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 of 9 from the field, a three-pointer and a block. Off the bench, Van Fleet played 19 minutes. It's not really worth owning. Valanciunas did have a strong... Oh, I forgot Serge Ibaka. Sorry. Serge Ibaka, 24 minutes, got the start. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 of 4 from the line. He shoots well there. Missed his three-pointer. No blocks or steals, but he's hovering around the 50 range and should hold there. Valanciunas, in 18 minutes, got 26 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 8 of 9 from the line. No defensive stats, but yeah, I think if you own him, you just hold on to him. I think he's going to be worth owning, but you're never going to see lines like this too often. Not much else to talk about here. You have any thoughts on the Raptors?
Nope, no thoughts on the Raptors from me. Let's move over to the next one. And this is going to be, I think, the last game for me, but I think there's one last one still going on that you might need to run without me, Neil. I hope you don't mind.
No, I can't. You have to come back. Every night you abandon me when there's a late game, Adrian.
That's not true. The last couple nights I've been here the whole slate. And let's finish this game though right here. The Charlotte Hornets losing to the Minnesota Timberwolves 121-104. Gonna start with Nicholas Batum on the Hornets. Neil, I've seen this guy actually hit the wire in one of my shallow 10-team leagues. So I don't know, man. Maybe I need to pick this guy up. He had 18 points with 8 assists, 7 rebounds, a steal, 3 threes tonight, 7 of 17 from the field. Really had it going. Cody Zeller, 9 points, 2 steals, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 3, 4 of 8 from the field. Kemba Walker with 15 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, a steal, a 3, 6 of 16, somewhat of a letdown here. Jeremy Lamb has his foot on the gas, and he's not taking it off, man. 18 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 6 of 18, 2 of 5 from downtown, 4 of 5 from the line. Neil, do you remember a time when we were worried about Malik Monk ruining Jeremy Lamb? That feels like it was a lifetime ago. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist with 9 points, 5 rebounds, a steal. Not too much on the bench. Kaminsky had 10 points. Miles Bridges, who I thought could maybe have some value because Marvin Williams went down, but he just came off the bench and played 21 minutes for 10 points. Malik Monk with 10 points in 18 minutes. Tony Parker, who we saw have a good game a few nights ago, goose egg in 15 minutes. We don't trust Biyombo. We don't trust Hernan Gomez. We don't trust Bacon, although we love to eat bacon and it tastes really good. Neil, what do you think of the Charlotte Hornets, man?
Yeah, Batum, I'm glad you started with him. I do own him in one league, and it's a 12-team league, so I did think about dropping him. He had, over the last 2 weeks, been like 130 and 8 cat, and but because he's still 106 overall for the season, and he's just someone who's done it before. I know. I think his athleticism has dropped off a bit when I watch him play. I'm just going to hold on to him. I haven't started him in that league. It's a games cap league, so I have not started him, but I'm going to hold on to him. And tonight was refreshing to see him jump back up. Not much else to see here, I think. Gilchrist getting a start. He's someone, though, even when 23 minutes, even in starters minutes, he's not really very good fantasy-wise. He does a lot for that team, but in terms of fantasy value, he's always on the cusp, even when he gets a lot of minutes. Like you said, Jeremy Lamb, he is mid-round value in 8-cat leagues, and no worries about him getting usurped by any of these guys off the bench. Okay, I'm going to head over to Minnesota side. Start with Karl-Anthony Towns. 35 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists on 13 of 20 shooting, 5 of 7 from the line, 4 3-pointers, 2 steals, 6 blocks.
Jeez.
Oh, my. Robert Covington. Since Robert Covington's been in Minnesota, their defense has really been picked up. It's gotten to be one of the best in the leagues. Tonight he had 17 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and he shot really well. 6 of 9 from the field, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 3-pointer, 2 steals, and a block. Andrew Wiggins had a good night, 26 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 11 of 19 shooting, 3 3-pointers, and a block. Jeff Teague shot just 1 of 6 for 3 points, 2 rebounds, but he did have 18 assists. I'm assuming a lot of those were to Towns. A steal and 2 blocks. Taj Gibson getting the start at power forward still, 25 minutes, 11 points, 10 rebounds, an assist. 4 or 5 from the field, 2 3-pointers, and a block. Off the bench, Derrick Rose scoring again, 26 minutes, 16 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists on 8 of 15 shooting. He's been pretty good this year, well inside the top 100, 82nd in 8-cat. Dario Saric, unfortunately, has fallen off the charts, 8 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. Just got 21 minutes, so he's worth dropping in standard leagues. And let's see. Gorgie Jang. I totally forgot about this guy. 12 minutes tonight, 5 points and 5 rebounds. But he's way off the radar. Someone in years past we've all liked here as a fantasy asset. Not much else to say about this team. Wiggins, he has nights like tonight, but still he's outside the top 100, so he's not someone I'm looking to try to trade for. I think he can, like Stanley Johnson, he can have some really off-night shooting, and that can just kind of hurt his value. But tonight he produced, and that's all I got. Anything you want to add on the Timberwolves?
Why can't Wiggins do this more often, man? He's so athletic. At times he seems so skilled. Like, why can't he have lines like this on a consistent basis? It's just, I don't know, man. It's like it's this weird thing that it just baffles me. And Robert Covington, I did play him in DFS tonight, and I'm happy. He's been such a good fit with the Timberwolves. Unfortunately, all the other misses I had, it didn't help me too much. But this trade, as you mentioned, they become a better defensive team. And who knew that this trade would work out so great, not only for the Sixers, but for the Timberwolves as well. What a great deal. All right, that's about it for this one. I'm going to get out of here. One more game that Neil will be back for. But before I leave, I want to thank you guys. Hit me up on Twitter at Adrian Benjamins. And I also want to remind you guys, go get our Hoop Ball in-season premium membership. It is on sale right now for $14.99. And you guys, I know I mentioned this on the last show. The price alone is worth it for the pickup and drop nightly column that's in that premium content. It's worth the price of admission right there. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Neil, thank you guys so much. I'm probably in trouble with the misses. I'm probably going to be sleeping on the couch, but it was worth it because I got to be here with you to talk hoops And I will see you guys tomorrow. Neil will be back for one more.
All right, with the last game of the night, the Los Angeles Lakers prevailed against the Spurs 121-113 on this San Antonio side. Held their own in a back-to-back game. I thought, wasn't sure how this was going to play out, but went down to the wire. And on the Spurs side, Rudy Gay, after having a terrible night the night before, tonight had solid line, 35 minutes, 31 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists on 12 of 20 shooting, 5 of 5 from the line, 2 3-pointers, and 2 steals, just 3 turnovers. Currently hanging at 89. And 9 cats on a per-game basis. I'm going to go over to 8 cat because that's where I'm more concerned. 95, so a little bit less, but right around that 95 to 100 mark, or 90 to 100 mark. Rudy Gay has been a solid player this year. LaMarcus Aldridge, 21 points, 9 rebounds, 1 assist. He has not been. He did go 7 to 7 from the line tonight and 7-14 from the field. His shooting has really hurt him this year from the field, just shooting 45%. He's usually more around 48, 49%. That has been the one thing. And his blocks are holding up, 1.2 blocks a game, half a steal. The 10 rebounds are there, but his value is down to 74 on a per-game basis. And ACAT, let's see who else. Dante Cunningham gets a start, plays 34 minutes, 2 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals. Unfortunately, does not put up much fantasy value in a lot of minutes. DeMar DeRozan, though, is their best fantasy asset. 32 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists on 12 of 22 shooting, 8 of 8 from the line, 2 steals, 31 on a per-game basis. He's really doing it in several categories. The points are there. The rebounds are not bad, 5.6. The assists are helping him. His steals are okay. Blocks are not bad, but he's shooting. His percentages are so solid. 48% from a shooting guard is phenomenal on 18.8 shots, 86% on 6 free throws, 86% on 6.3 free throws. The three-pointer, he's not added to his game, so he's hurting you there. If he could get that up, certainly would be in the top 20 somewhere, or I should say in the 20s. Perhaps in the top 20. All right, on to, let's see. Yeah, so not much to take away from here. Patty Mills played 20 minutes off the bench. Derek White, someone I didn't think was going to be that good because he wasn't supposed to be the starter this year. Got 18 minutes and not really producing any fantasy value. Jakob Poeltl had a good game last night. Tonight, kind of more back to what we can expect from him. 15 minutes, 6.6 rebounds. I don't think he's worth owning. And except the very deepest of leagues. So one game is not enough sample size. Let's go over to the Los Angeles Lakers side, led by LeBron James. Had a fantastic night here. Let me just pull up the stats. 42 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 15 to 23 shooting. He's shooting 52% of the year, so keeping that up. Shot 9 of 13 from the line. Again, his free throws have just never been great. I'm guessing that's more mental than physical. 71%. So far this year, he made 3 3-pointers, 2 steals, had 3 turnovers. Currently in ninth place in 8 category leagues. Let's see. JaVale McGee, their second best fantasy player, really has been not doing great recently with the addition of Tyson Chandler. He's doing okay tonight, just 19 minutes, 8 points, 4 rebounds. He's shooting very well, 4 for 4 from the field tonight, so helps you there, and just a single block. So he did actually turn the ball over a bunch tonight. If you have a 9-cat lead, had 3 turnovers. Lonzo Ball had a solid night, 14 points, 4 rebounds, 9 assists. Good to see this guy moving up the charts. Rooting for him to be successful. Love his basketball game. 5 of 12 from the field, 3 3-pointers, 2 steals. Good to see him knock down 50% of his 3-pointers tonight. Brandon Ingram, for a guy who does a lot, it looks like out there and has a lot of raw talent and can get a lot of the counting stats. It's just not a very good fantasy asset. He's 188 on a per game basis in ACAT. I think I still have him in one league, hoping he's going to turn things around. Tonight he got injured. I think he hurt his ankle, if I'm correct, and sprained ankle after just 5 minutes of play. So no fantasy stats tonight, and really not really worth owning in fantasy unless you're in deeper leagues. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, 12 points, 7 rebounds off the bench, 4 for 3 4 from the line, 2 3-pointers and a steal. And Josh Hart just played 13 minutes tonight. This guy, I think he's going to develop into a quality NBA player, at least a quality role NBA player. Just not really fitting in with Kuzma being the main guy there, who I skipped over. I'll come back to. But Josh Hart, 6 points, 1 rebound. Worth dropping if you haven't already done so. Kyle Kuzma, though, keeps improving. Played 38 minutes tonight, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. The things that can hurt you are his field goal percentage a little bit, but tonight not so bad, 7 of 19, 3 3-pointers. He also struggles a bit with his free throw percentage, 5 of 7 tonight. So not great, but not bad either. He's right around 111 in ACAT, and I think he'll get better. I don't think he's going to get a lot better, but I think he will improve maybe a round or two as the season goes on. That is it for this team. Again, I'd like to thank our new sponsor for our show, Hawaiian Isles Coffee is their website. Their website, I should say, is Hawaiian Isles. And I have not tried their coffee yet. We just got them as a sponsor, but looking forward to it. And Adrian and I will be back tomorrow.
This has been a Hoop Ball presentation.